Today we're gonna talk about what is Web3. You have all learned about what is blockchain and the benefits, the features. It's time for Web3. Okay, so first of all, I always love to explain the differences and what are the Web 1, 2, 3. So simply, Web 1 is read, Web 2 is all about read write, and Web 3 is read write own. The ownership is very important. Go back to Web 1. It's a read only web. Some features about it. The first web, right? So the features are one-way communication, very limited user interaction. Actually, there's no user interaction, and it's lack of social interaction and absence of dynamic content. So, a couple of examples about Web 1. We can see Yahoo, MSN, that's all from the old times. That's the Web 1. They post whatever, you just read whatever. That's it. And then we enter the Web 2. Web 2 has more fun, right? We often call it like read write web or social web. It's all about like social media interactions. So it marks like significant shift in the evolution of the internet, emphasizing user generated content. We also call it UGC and the social interaction. The examples we can say Instagram, Twitter, right? And Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, they just provide a platform and the users, either the users like me or the professional users like bloggers, whatever, they're gonna post lots of UGC on those platforms. And the features about the Web 2 is gonna be the UGC mentioned a couple of times, user generated content, engagement. You can really engage with the posters or the influencers, KOLs, whoever posted the content. And it's social media and networking. So networking effect that was like super popular a couple of years ago. I mean, maybe still popular. And there are rich internet applications, a lot of fun, a lot of applications, a lot of things to do. And also it allow you to personalization and the customization, all the things, do it your way. So this is Web 2. And I believe everybody today is pretty happy with Web 2. But actually, you can get more from Web 3. So Web 3, we call it decentralized web and represents the next chapter of the internet development, focused on decentralization, data ownership, and enhanced user control. I can put some examples. Actually, right here, Coinbase is very central. It's a centralized exchange. We're gonna elaborate more, in the future chapter sessions. And Bitcoin totally decentralized. Solana totally decentralized. MetaMask is a decentralized wallet, and Ethereum that's decentralized. But there's one example called Mirror. So Mirror is a decentralized version of the Medium. So if you post stuff on the Medium, you don't own it because there's one day the center database can delete your article for no reason. But if you post the article on the Mirror, nobody can delete that. So that's the beauty of the decentralization, and that's the beauty of the ownership features, decentralization and the blockchain technology for sure. Next thing, ownership, and next feature, security. We actually talk lots of those, from the last chapter. And the next is interoperability and the seamless integration. And the next, we can really use this intelligent web to plus AI. We can do a lot of integrations together. So this is Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, and their differences. I want to share some of my favorite features on Web 3. So what is Web 3? Web 3, read, write, own, right? But also is an umbrella term for technologies like blockchain that decentralize data ownership and control on the internet. Also, for the vision of a better internet, an internet with an added identity, money, and social layer, an internet built up on open protocols that value transparency and innovation. I'm gonna talk lots of decentralization, during the program. So this is my most favorite feature of Web3 and blockchain. So Web3 technology offers a new way of running the internet that spreads control over its users, rather than letting big companies like Twitter and Facebook hold all the power. This idea is gaining attention because President Trump tried to change a law called Section 230. This law protects social media companies from being sued over what people post on their platforms. Trump's change came after Twitter fact checked his tweets. Twitter blocked Trump's account because they said his posts could encourage violence. Trump tried to get around this ban by using another official account, but those tweets were quickly deleted again. So Trump claimed that Twitter was silencing him in coordination with his political opponents. As debates about control and free speech on social media heating up, so platforms like LBRY are getting more popular. LBRY lets people post whatever they want without fear of being taken down because it uses blockchain technology, just like Miro. So, which keeps a permanent record that cannot be changed, immutable, right? Immutability feature. So recently, LBRY's user numbers have nearly doubled, showing that more people are looking for alternatives to traditional social media sites. Permissionless. Permissionless is also very important. So Web3 is permissionless. Everyone has equal access to participate in Web3, and no one gets excluded. A prime example of the permissionless nature of Web3 is the Ethereum network. They have the token ETH, particularly with its approach to decentralized application. We also call it dApps and smart contracts. Ethereum, one of the leading blockchain platforms, enables developers to create and deploy smart contracts and the dApps without needing permission from any central authority or entity. This open access ethos means that anyone, regardless of their location, background, or industry status, can build on the Ethereum network. Everybody can do it. And one good example, to say about permissionless is Uniswap. Uniswap is a very famous company, in Web3, which is a decentralized exchange. We also call it DEX, and a centralized exchange, we call it SEX. So OKX is a centralized exchange. Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. So this Uniswap is built on the Ethereum blockchain. Illustrates that this concept effectively. Unlike traditional exchanges, centralized exchange, which require users to submit personal information, get approval to trade. I have to do KYC many times to get approved. So Uniswap allows anyone to interact with its protocol directly from their Ethereum wallet. I use MetaMask, or you can use OKX wallet. That's a decentralized wallet. This system enables users to swap different cryptocurrencies without needing an account or an intermediary to facilitate the transactions. This is permissionless. When we talk about Web3 and the blockchain, also people will think about, okay, I also know cryptocurrency, right? The digital tokens, digital gold, and I have heard about the Bitcoin, Ethereum, the ETH and the Doge token, meme tokens. That's right. I'm pretty proud of the Web3 has the native payments, and it uses cryptocurrency to spend and send money online instead of relying on the outdated infrastructure of banks and payment processors. In the US, stock listed on the New York Stock Exchange or the Nasdaq stock market trading during regular market hours between 9:30 to 4 p.m., right? So finer points aside, this effect is that every day, every stock has an opening and a closing price. If you check the price of a stock you own on your phone, you can see the current price and the price change, typically expressed in absolute dollar terms and the percentage changes. However, cryptocurrency markets never close. They're open 24/7. And I'm thinking for today, the best use case from Web3 is the DeFi. And I love DeFi. So DeFi, which means the ownership. If you bought a Bitcoin and you put your Bitcoin in your own wallet, it's not like exchange wallet. Actually, it's your decentralized wallet, hardware wallet. You actually own your asset. You really own it, and you can play with it, and you can trade, and you can pay people with your cryptocurrency. And this is the native payments. And we're gonna see more native payments use cases in the future. Why? Because AI. I don't think my AI gonna use credit card to pay your AI, but I believe my AI executive assistant gonna use cryptocurrency to do deals with you, to trade with you, and pay you by cryptocurrencies. What is trustless? Okay, trustless is not about you super trust another person or company. Trustless means you actually don't need to trust anybody. Just you don't need to trust. What that is what it is. Okay. So Web3 is a new way of handling online transactions and agreements using blockchain technology, where everything is run by the code, not by organizations or people who might be biased. This system is known as code is law. In Web3, people use smart contracts, which are like automated agreements that do exactly what they say they will do without any chains of interference from others. This approach removes the need for middlemen like banks or lawyers, making processes more direct and usually cheaper. It also means that everyone involved has to accept the results of the agreement exactly as they are written in the code. If there's an error in the smart contract, wow, I'm so sorry about that. There is no way to fix it after the fact unless it was already included in the original programming. So, in short, Web3 makes online interactions more transparent, fair, and reliable, as everything runs precisely as programmed without any unexpected changes or outside interference. So we have covered so many benefits and features of Web3 and also blockchain. I believe this is the future, and we're gonna use more of Web3 and the blockchain technology in the future days.